I had my stroke on April 6th this year, 2021. And folks, when you're dealing with strokes, milestones are measured in millimeters. You're not going to have a stroke one day and jump up out of your chair the next and do jumping jacks. It doesn't work like that. So we're almost 3 months in. I've had a little bit of movement in the arm, no movement in the fingers or the hand. And this happened last night. So this is very exciting. This gives me hope. I had not any movement really in the fingers. So this is a huge deal for me. I may not look excited, but I'm very excited. So I'm happy to see this, and I'm hopeful that there'll be more coming along soon. Hi, welcome back. My name is David. Thanks for joining us on my YouTube channel here. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you being here. And if you would please, we'd really appreciate it. Click the subscribe and like button. That really helps us. But we want to just get the word out for what to expect after you have a stroke. Let me officially say, I am not a doctor. I've never been to medical school. I did not stay in a big hotel chain last night. So I have no legal or medical advice. Welcome, we're having some coffee on the porch this morning. And excited about being able to move my finger for the first time last night. It's very exciting, very happy about that. But this is a favorite time of day for us. We love to come out here in the mornings, sit on our porch and look over our yard. Sometimes we see some deer back here, lots of rabbits, and our dogs will join us occasionally. Of course, April 6th, 2001 of this year was when my stroke occurred. And the first night in the hospital, when I got to the emergency room, of course, they whisk you right in because strokes are emergent. They want to figure out what's going on, and you have some short windows for certain medications and certain things they can do for you. I was outside the window for the clot busting drug, so they couldn't do that. But I had a CT and an MRI. MRI showed that I had had a stroke with 4 clots that passed to my brain, and basically that came from my heart. I was in AFib and did not know that. So that's very concerning because the first thing that they're afraid of is that you're going to have another stroke. My blood sugar was very elevated. That's very concerning also because your blood gets thick when your blood sugar goes up. It just stands to reason. So they were watching very closely the first few days, and that was on a Tuesday evening when I went in. By Friday, I was able to be moved to the rehab hospital, so I spent a month in inpatient rehab, and we'll talk about that in a different episode, path to rehab and where that starts and what they do with you there. It was kind of the, I won't say trifecta, but it was the perfect storm. My blood sugar was way up, almost 400 that day. My blood pressure was way up. Both of those are very problematic for having a stroke. What happened with me, my stroke affected my left side. So I had a right-sided stroke, affected my left leg, my left arm, my left hand and fingers, and my vision. Lost 50% of the vision in both eyes. My left side vision is not good. So if you want to sneak up on me, do it from the left side. I'll never know you're there. That's a problem because walking, I walk with a walker, and that is tough because constantly bumping into stuff on the left side. So therapy is working with me on that and trying to get me to be more aware of what's on the left side. But it's tough when you can't see. One day you can't do anything, the next day you can move the slightest little bit. So take those tiny victories and celebrate them because that's what will help you get more. Last night, up until this point, I really had very minimal movement in my hand. My fingers would curl just a tiny bit, but that's it. So last night, I got some motion in basically just my index finger, and it's making a little side-to-side movement. That, like I said, that's not much. just a few millimeters, but it wasn't there yesterday, so I'll take it. And hopefully we can run with that and get more motion out of that, because I'll tell you what, not having the use of your hand is very frustrating. As I said, I use a walker to walk, sometimes a cane, but it's easier with the walker. And I tried to use a rollator, one of the rolling walkers that has the seat on it, so if I got tired I could turn around and sit down. But that's kind of difficult because I only have one hand and it's hard to steer. So if they tried me out on it in rehab, and they basically taped my hand to the left side so it wouldn't fall off, but it was still very difficult to steer it. So I'm back to the walker and the cane. But hopefully at one point I'll be able to advance to that, because getting a more natural gait is very important, and working towards that is my ultimate goal, is being able to walk without the cane or the walker. Not there yet, but hopefully I will be in the near future. We'll see how that turns out. So during the day, I'm constantly holding my hand, stretching my fingers, and I get a fair bit of Clonus in the hand, which is like trimmer type motion. Funny thing is, my Apple Watch counts that as steps, so I get a lot more steps than maybe I'm really entitled to, but hey, we'll take it. Constantly keeping things from setting in and becoming contracted. I move my arm to keep my bicep and my tricep lubricated, if you will, keep them moving, because you don't want things to lock in place. That's a bad thing. Moving, I keep my fingers stretched. Don't let it freak you out if your hand starts jumping or something like that, if you stretch a little bit, because that's apparently normal. The Clonus apparently we're taking as a win. My therapist said that is a good sign, and apparently that's true, because I've seen a little bit with the finger there, as we talked about a minute ago. We take that as a win, like I said. All right, so one thing you'll find out pretty quickly is when you have a stroke, you're going to be on a lot of different medications. One of the ones that I'm on is Lipitor, because they really worry about your cholesterol. They worry about blood pressure, blood sugar, a lot of different things. I'm not sleeping at night, and I have restless leg syndrome, which I take a med for called Requip that is supposed to help with that. But my legs, as soon as I lay down in bed and start to go to sleep, my legs just start kicking and moving, and I start rolling around, and I cannot sleep. So I did a little bit of research, and although the statin medication, atorvastatin or Lipitor, is not supposed to cause restless leg syndrome, apparently in me it does, because I did not take it last night, and I slept for the first night in months. Slept all night long, didn't move, no rolling around, no jumping legs. It was glorious. It was wonderful to be able to sleep and not get up 3 times during the night. But I have a plan in place for this. I'm going to try the medication during the day instead of at night, because I've read that that's acceptable. So we'll see how that works out. But not taking it at night was a major plus, because I'm on a high dose statin, and that can also mess with your GI tract, and I have seen that as well. And that's getting a little, probably something we really don't want to talk about, but it'll mess your gut up too, so be aware of that. And you can always ask your doctor about what other options are available to you, and they may be able to help you out there. We'll see what happens from here, but it's just for one night not taking it was wonderful. So something to consider there as well. Just want to thank you for stopping by and checking us out today. When I had my stroke, my wife was not able to find out much information at all about what to expect. So hopefully through this channel we'll be able to put out some information that if you're in this situation, you won't be in the desert as far as having any kind of information about what to expect or what happened. This is just my personal experience. As they say, every stroke is different, but we can certainly tell you what's happening with me and kind of help guide you through that way. But thanks for coming by. Again, if you like what you're seeing on here, like and subscribe. That helps us out. We appreciate you being here. We hope we can pass along some helpful information. If you have questions or comments, just stick them in the comments down below, and I'm going to do my best to get back to everybody. It's a little tough with one hand. I can type, but it's slow, so bear with me. I'll be diligent, but it might take me a little while, so hang in there. And again, my sight's limited on the left, so don't yell too loudly if my words run together a little bit. It does happen, so I'm sorry for that. But like I said, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So anyway, thanks again for coming by.